Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another movie review. This time we're going to be talking about Showdown in Little Tokyo, which came out in 1991 and stars Dolph Lundgren as well as Brandon Lee. And tells the story of two cops who have to work together to bring down the Yakuza while trying to protect a beautiful woman. Continuing my action movie review binge, we're talking about Showdown in Little Tokyo, which, as I said, came out in 1991, but as far as I read, it had, it had a bigger release in 95, 94 or so. But yeah, and that plot is from IMDb. It's a one-sentence, sum up, basically, I guess. But there's a bit more to it than that. I mean, you have Dolph Lundgren's character, who has been sort of raised and brought up in this the culture that surrounds the movie, and you have Brandon Lee, who, as well as similar way, or he's at least grown up, kind of around that too. They're both cops, and apparently not good with partners. And there's been scenes cut apparently that show a little bit more of, especially Dolph Lundgren's relationship with some of his previous partners. But yeah, they're brought together, and Dolph Lundgren's parents, meanwhile, are actually killed when he was a boy. It's not a spoiler, you see it pretty quickly into the movie. You get to know Dolph Lundgren or Kenner's motivation. And they're like two sides of the same coin, I guess, to an extent, or maybe more like than they realize. So really, it's like a revenge story. I mean, you have the actor from, the Mortal Kombat movie. I can't even pronounce his name. Tagawa. As this leader of this whole, particular part of the organization. And so, yeah, it's pretty simple. And then, Tia Carrera, she starts as the woman they're trying to protect, and she is, unfortunately been wrapped up in some of the, business dealings with this. But yeah, I gotta say, I've been doing a lot of action movie reviews. I've been watching a lot of action movies, and it's not gonna stop. For my Van Damme videos, my Lundgren videos, my definite more Schwarzenegger videos to come, and so on. This has been one of my very, very favorites. I had an absolute blast with Showdown in Little Tokyo. Yeah, it comes off as cheesy, and it is, but it knows it. Even then, it knew it. It comes across self-aware. They know what kind of movie they're making. Even for the genre itself, I feel like they kind of know what they're doing. But at the same time, I'm not even saying it's a movie that's so bad it's good. That's not where I'm going with it. I genuinely think if you like this genre, with actors like Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee, then this should be a pretty good one for you. I think it's honestly the epitome of what these kinds of movies can be. Like I said, this movie was a blast. I had a great time with it. Dolph Lundgren, he's become one of my favorites. For me, Schwarzenegger's always going to be my top. He's been my hero since I was a kid. But then you have Van Damme, and then after that, it's really between like Lundgren and Atkins and stuff like that. But yeah, I've always liked Lundgren, and I feel like out of his earlier films, it was like 80s and 90s films especially, this is probably the most dynamic I've seen him in his performance. He does show a fair amount of personality in this, while also being the more, sort of muscle-bound, brute between the two, I guess, even though he's just as skilled, if not more skilled in combat than Brandon Lee's character, which is which is ironic. Brandon Lee's pretty good as well. People know him as the Crow, and his career was cut way too short because of that unfortunate accident that took place with that. But here he's pretty entertaining as well, and they really act like a pretty nice foil to each other, I gotta say. Some really natural chemistry here, and I liked a lot of their banter. It flowed pretty well. And they don't try and force anything either, and it just, kind of goes with the movie, and I had a lot of fun with, any of their dialogue exchanged, for sure. A bit of a one that might throw you off. You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man, so there's that. Make of that what you will, towards the, like 3/4 mark or so. And Tia Carrera, I liked her as well. I even liked the little romance bits in this movie, and Dolph Lundgren was my favorite part of it. And of course, he's great as the action guy, but I feel like again he showed some personality in this, a little more in some of his other earlier films. So I really enjoyed him. And the main bad guy here, who I butchered earlier in terms of his name, he's good here as well. He has a presence, so he fits the kind of over the top action movie it is. And as far as the fight choreography, again, it feels maybe a bit dated for some, the way it's done. But again, I think it's pretty solid, even for being a self-aware movie, even for that time. I think it still looks pretty good, they at least are pretty consistent with it, and, it's not like overly slow or anything like that, or it doesn't look as overly staged as some other movies I've seen like it. So I enjoyed that, and there's a good mix of like hand-to-hand stuff, and there's your shootouts, which I enjoyed. You have your bigger, more over-the-top moments, and you have your more sort of up close and personal type shit. So there's that. You have your scenes of them fighting, and with a packed building of people. Or then you have ones at a pool, with the Mortal Kombat guy and his guys coming out of the water and stuff like that, and Dolph strangling with a near sumo-sized guy. So there's that. So there's variety in this for sure. And he helped Dolph Lundgren dressing up like this by the end of the movie, which is kind of funny. But it was either that or him running on in his boxers like he did earlier in the flick. But still, I really enjoyed this movie. I can't honestly say that enough. I'm even kind of questioning my rating at this point, but I do gotta watch it again. And it's only like 78 minutes, by the way. Definitely worth your time if you have any interest in the genre or the actors or something. Just check it out. And the ending is pretty satisfying as well. It goes the way you expect. I know it's not the most like unique thing in the world, but I feel like it's good, like just a mesh of everything this genre can be for that time, especially. So overall, excuse me. I'm giving Showdown Little Tokyo about a B+ or an 89%, almost almost A- territory. I feel like I gotta watch it again, but definitely one of my favorites I've watched out of anything in a while. Highly recommend it. Definitely buying it on Blu-ray soon. So yeah, let me know you guys thought about Showdown Little Tokyo. What are some of your favorite 80s and 90s Dolph Lundgren movies? What's your favorite Brandon Lee's, Rapid Fire, or something else? So, yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.